Hey Reddit community. I never thought that I would have to post this, but I am in a bit of a dilemma, and I thought that perhaps you guys could give me the advice that I need. The whole incident started when I, 30 female, decided to celebrate my daughter's first birthday. Let me give some context. My husband and I have been together since I was 24. We dated for 3 years and got married when I was 27. My husband and I did not have the opportunity to live together post marriage because of COVID. I had to stay in a different state due to work while he stayed in our hometown. I would come home to visit him whenever I had the chance to come over, and in one of those visits, I got pregnant. Once I was 3 months in, I was allowed to move my jobs and ended up in the same city as my husband. But here's the issue. My husband was no longer living in the same place. He used to live in an apartment, and in the last 3 months, he decided to move in with his parents. He did not tell me that he was going to do that. So you can imagine how surprised I was when I found out that all the times he told me, "Hey, you can come back home," he meant moving in with his parents. I was surprised and a little shocked, to be honest, but at the same time, I tried to be nice about it. I believed in him whenever he said he was going to work his ass off to get a separate place for us to have our own apartment again. But here's the thing. Since I've moved in, I have not seen him do anything like that. He's been living off his parents' money for the past year, and I do not think he wants to move out anytime soon. It feels like the man I fell in love with and the man I am with right now are two different people. He was never like this before. Somehow, he thought that the best way to earn money would be a YouTube channel, but he is not doing anything that one needs to do for their channel growth. It is strange. I feel like only I am the one who's worried about our future and our daughter. He only has like 1,000 followers. I'm not saying that it is not a good thing, but after more than 1 year, if the channel growth is just 1,000 subscribers, I cannot say I have much faith in him. I have been forced to go to 3 different jobs just to make sure we can take care of ourselves and our daughter. So, 3 days ago, it was our daughter's first birthday, and we wanted to make it a special event. The birthday was planned out, and all the invitations were sent. Mother-in-law and father-in-law agreed to let us use the backyard to celebrate the birthday. Everyone came over for her wedding, and my husband decided to live stream this on his Instagram. There were about 800 people on the live stream. Despite my being uncomfortable with him streaming our child on the World Wide Web, I did not have a say in it. I tried to be as understanding as possible while being mildly uncomfortable. A lot of people started joining the live stream since she was shown, and it was not something that I was looking forward to. That did not sit right with my mother-in-law at all, but not for the same reason. My mother-in-law hated that my daughter was the center of attention of the viewers. So instead of telling my husband to not show the viewers our daughter, my mother-in-law decided that it would be better to break things at the party and start a scene, almost putting our child in danger so that the attention is diverted away from my daughter and is on her son and her. It was so strange when I was watching everything unfold. She definitely did not care about the safety of my child, and she was doing whatever she could to jeopardize and ruin her birthday. I hated that she was doing that, and I decided to call the cops on her. I felt like that was the right call for me to make. My husband and my mother-in-law were shocked that I would call the cops on them. The cops asked if I wanted to file a complaint, and I said that I did. Everything for my daughter's birthday was paid for and bought by me, and so everything was mine, and she broke it. Furthermore, I did not want my daughter to feel like her safety was not important. And I know you guys could be saying that she's 1 year old and she would not remember anything, but I feel like as her mother, it was my duty to protect her. On top of that, as Instagram Live was so chaotic, it gained a lot of local attention because of that. Now the whole family is against me. They think I overreacted and whatever I did was very much uncalled for, and I should not have done that. What do you guys think I should have done? Thank you for taking the time to read my post and share your opinions. Update 1. I want to thank everyone who took the time to read and respond to my original post. Your support and insights have been invaluable during this challenging time. So, as far as everything is considered, when it comes to the case I filed, I am going to get the money from my mother-in-law for destroying the cake and the glasses. She is not very happy that the judge ruled in my favor, but there is concrete evidence of her randomly deciding to break everything. On the other hand, as far as my husband's concerned, he is not getting reprimanded or fined or anything, even though he put her in jeopardy. The video shows clearly how my mother-in-law was throwing things, especially these pretty glass tumblers I bought for the guests, towards the general direction of my daughter, while causing the scene, and my husband was just there shooting the video. It was such a strange thing to see him behave the way he did, and I did not know how to feel about it. I don't know if I want to be married to a man who does this, because I always assume that no matter what happens, he would at least show up for our child. But no. His views and popularity means so much to him. Even as he was getting the brunt of it, even on social media, he did not understand where he was wrong. Even now, as we speak, he does not think that whatever he did was wrong. He thinks I was the one who overreacted by calling the cops. He thinks that everything that happened on the birthday was perfectly fine, including the part where mother-in-law was breaking things. He keeps insisting that she was doing it for views, and I was dumbassed for not getting it. I just cannot do it anymore. This has been so stressful for me. I kind of just realized that my relationship is no longer the way I thought it would be, because here I thought I was being with a man who's old enough to be the man, but no, he's just a man-child, and I do not wish to take care of him and my daughter while he keeps jeopardizing her well-being. Update 2. Hey everyone, sorry I did not update you guys about the whole mother-in-law situation since then. It has been about a week since my last update, and over the 7 days, my mother-in-law has been giving stupid interviews on the local news. She is so tone deaf. Both my husband and she think that this whole local news coverage is a good thing because negative attention has led to his channel's growth. The way my husband has been selfish with his needs and almost got my daughter hurt is not acceptable in my eyes at all. I hate that the person I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life has turned into one of those YouTubers who do not have any touch with reality. Am I disgusted? Yes. Am I shocked? Yes. I do not know how to deal with everything. Since the last update, I've moved in with my parents, with my daughter, and my husband wants me to come home and be with him. He thinks it's better if we get back together for the sake of our daughter. But has he apologized for doing what he has done? No. Has his mother considered apologizing for how she jeopardized my child? No. I'm the bad guy in everyone's eyes, and while I do not really care about it, I just don't appreciate the negative propaganda that they're spreading about me to the whole town. I do not want this marriage anymore. I feel like this is not a safe environment for me or my daughter. So I am planning on divorcing him. Update 3. Hey everyone. So the divorce has been finalized and my daughter is currently staying with me. My ex-husband is not very happy about it because he thinks what I did to him was unfair. He still believes that I overreacted when I called the cops on them. So instead of apologizing to me even once, he instead decided it would be the best call to make videos on me. Over the past month, my husband has made 7 videos talking about how our broken marriage and our relationship, making sure to paint me as the villain. It is crazy to see him use his platform to make me seem like the crazy one. Not only that, as the viral video had him and his mother, she has also joined in on the whole social media bandwagon, hating on me. It's crazy to see the mother-son duo behave that way. I thought that they would at least know how to be mature about this whole thing, but apparently not. I'm being the bigger person for now, but if they keep this up, I will take legal action against them for trying to defame me because a lot of things they're saying in these videos are not true at all. You gotta be joking with me, OP. Your husband is a man-child. How can someone who's 30 years old behave the way that he is? He seems like he does not care about anything other than himself. This is pathetic. His mother is the big reason why he is like this, because which grandmother compares the attention given to a child to her 30-year-old son? This is pathetic. Please get out of this marriage. OP, you do not have one child. You have two children, except one of them is 30 years old, and he is not the best at what he does. Please leave this marriage ASAP. He sounds like a second version of J Station Guy, and before he does the whole "my wife is dead" prank with you, get out of it. Next story. My fiance, 25, female, and I, 29, male, are from the same hometown, but we never went to school together. I graduated high school the year before she started at the same high school. I did, however, go to school with her older brother, 30, male. Her brother was a bully to me during our entire school careers. He made fun of me for being fat and nerdy. He would call me racist names. They're Italian and I'm Indian, so he had a lot to say about that. And he was just overall terrible to me. I figured once we graduated, I'd never see him again. And for the most part, I was right. I went off to college out of state and then ended up going to graduate school as well. During my first year in grad school, I was a TA for a class and I noticed one of the girls who I thought was very smart and very pretty, but obviously I couldn't go out with her because of our positions. Well, right after the semester ended, I ran into her at a coffee shop off campus and we chatted for a bit. She ended up asking me for my number and then she actually asked me out a few weeks later. We've been together ever since. At the start of our relationship, I had no idea who her brother was. They have a very common American last name, so it's not like that was going to do anything. Eventually, we figured out we were from the same town and we went to the same high school. At which point, she asked me if I knew her brother, and I said I knew him, but not well. I probably should have told her what her brother had done to me at that point, but I was too embarrassed, so I kept it hidden. Things really came to a head when she introduced me to her family a year later. Her brother actually called me by the same nickname he liked to use to bully me and then made a few semi-insulting remarks towards me again. My fiancé, girlfriend at the time, noticed and called him out on it, and he just explained that that was how we always talked before. I told her it wasn't a big deal since I didn't want to cause any drama. We got engaged 3 months ago. Recently, we were talking about wedding plans and stuff with her family, and he asked me when I was going to ask him to be a groomsman and if I was doing anything special. I deflected, and after the call, I asked her about it. She explained that her brother expected to be made a groomsman since she was making my little sister and her sister-in-law's bridesmaids, and he made her a bridesmaid in his wedding. I told her about why I didn't like her brother, and she said that she understood, but it was still right to make him a groomsman. I said no again, and she got pretty upset about it and said her parents were going to be mad. I was also annoyed, so I texted her family group chat to say that he wasn't going to be one under any circumstance, and now they're all mad at me. AITA? Edit. I texted my brother-in-law and told him that I felt like I deserved an apology from him. He said he had nothing to be sorry for. I told him that I didn't even want him at the wedding, and the only reason he was going to be there was because he had to be. Everyone is even more angry with me now. I know I shouldn't have said that, but he really upset me with that. I feel like I have to fix this. Edit 2. So I showed my fiance this post, and she had an actual panic attack reading through the comments. She kept repeatedly asking me if I was going to break up with her, and then she kept saying sorry. I think the comments telling me to reconsider the relationship and consider whether or not I wanted to actually have a future with her really got to her. She's yelling at her parents on the phone right now. I have no idea whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Edit 3. So my fiance's parents decided they wanted to talk to me after my fiance yelled at them. Her mom apologized straight away and said that she had no idea we had such a history. And although she believed his comments had always been wrong, she thought I was okay with it. Her dad also apologized but tried to talk about how the family was more important and that I should let this all be in the past. I said I couldn't. And he started getting really angry at me, and now all three of them are yelling at each other again. Well, mostly my fiance and her mom versus her dad. And I'm starting to feel really guilty about this whole thing. NTA, you should have been upfront about how much her brother bullied and hurt you in the past, and how it still hurts when he says that stuff. In your attempt to avoid drama, you've ended up with worse drama because now it's harder to justify your dislike when you've previously said it's no big deal. Your fiancée is crappy for not supporting you in this. She's supporting a racist bully instead of her future husband. Next story. Okay, so I, 35 female, have a daughter, Kyra, who's turning 14 next month. My daughter is super outgoing and friendly. She's very universally liked wherever she goes, and I love that about her. We moved to this town when she was entering 7th grade, and the school guidance office kind of set her up with this other girl who was also new so that they could navigate the school together. I'll call this girl Emma. I really liked the idea of Emma and Kyra being friends, but I quickly realized that Emma was holding her back in a lot of ways. When Kyra began branching out and making new friends, Emma got very clingy and tried to stop her. She's constantly putting pressure on Kyra to help her with her mental health and is essentially her free therapist, but never helps Kai in return. Even when Kai was admitted to the hospital, she showed up to tell her how she couldn't survive at school without her, and she had to come back as soon as possible. Not one question or care about how she was doing. Our new foster daughter is in the same grade as them, and she says that no one in their grade tolerates Emma except for Kai, and she's way too patient with her. I feel bad for Emma, as I was a socially awkward kid too, but I think she's taking it way too far. Kyra has started trying to slowly drift away from Emma, but it's hard because she follows her everywhere. She even tried out for the volleyball club that Emma goes to so they could be on the team together. Well, for Kai's birthday, we decided that we could take 3 of her friends to Disney with her for a special weekend. She decided to take her foster sister, her very close friend from volleyball, and one of her other close school friends. I told her to just not mention it to Emma or anyone who wasn't invited because she has a lot of friends and I didn't want to make anyone feel left out. Well, Emma found out from practically interrogating her, and I had told her that if she did, to just blame me. Well, she did, and I got very angry call from Emma's mother. I said that I only allowed her to bring 3 people, and I wanted her to bring those 3 because she's known them for much longer, which isn't necessarily true, but she didn't know that. She said that Emma invited Kyra to her birthday, which was also very small, and the 2 of them are best friends, despite not knowing each other very long, and I shouldn't control who my kids are friends with. I tried to put as gently as possible that I and my other kids have noticed whenever Emma is over at our house, she is not nice to Kyra and makes us uncomfortable. And she freaked out and said I'm bullying a child and said she could file an HIB at our school for this. She said she works for a school district and she knows exactly how to get a kid thrown out. She then said she'd pay for Emma to go or pay for a bigger room for everyone, but I flat out said no and hung up on her. I feel like an AH now because I might have ruined their friendship, and Kyra is furious with me, plus I was a little harsh. So what does Reddit think? I talked to the school guidance office to update them on the situation with Emma. Not only about this whole birthday thing, but the struggles that she's having, plus the burden it has on Kyra. Perhaps the school has a counseling service for Emma since she is still struggling. Talk to Kyra about having an additional, more modest celebration and invite Emma plus others in addition to the Disney trip. I suspect Kyra is upset with you because she does not want the drama caused by Emma's mother. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.